Ayo! Welcome to Starship Demeech! Hey everyone, we are doing a midnight live stream. Decided to play some Super Mario Galaxy before I go to sleep, and I thought to myself, would be more fun with some of you who are also up at 12:51 a.m. Now I need to get my sleep schedule back on track. That has been an issue that's just been present throughout the past 3 years, but who needs sleep when you got Super Mario? Am I right? That was always a thing. I remember back in 2020 when my sleep problems started, I was playing Super Mario 64 up until like 6 a.m. one time. I remember that. It was pretty fun. But we will be playing Super Mario Galaxy today. Love to play Galaxy 2, but Nintendo doesn't want us to have nice things. I also love Boo Mario. I think it's just such a fun power-up. I wish Odyssey had something similar. Ayo, we got more people in the chat. Okay, good. Wow, late night stream. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in quite some time. I'm assuming you're on the west coast of the United States? Like a 3-hour difference. Alright, let's see what the mail toad wants. Oh, just gotta wait until his next delivery. So I'm debating whether or not I should go for like a prankster comet or just continue trying to get power stars in linear order. Hey Jude, good to see ya! We are playing Super Mario Galaxy. I will say 3D All-Stars is a very lazy compilation, but my goodness, Super Mario Galaxy still looks incredible to this day. I think I'm going to review Galaxy 2 before 1. I actually did play Super Mario Galaxy 2 before 1. You want to know how long ago it was when I got Super Mario Galaxy 2? I think it was at a Sears out of all places, like 2011. So that should show you just how long it's been. Yeah, Nick, I remember you were telling me about that. I'm glad that the traffic didn't get in the way. So I think, well, we saw Boo Mario, so might as well play a haunted level. I feel you, man, going to see your family. Because I have family in Greece, and I haven't seen them for over 4 years almost. But the good news is, I will be going back very soon. So I'm thinking of doing some vlogs or something like that in Greece. I think it would be a great place to review Super Mario Sunshine and Wii Sports Resort. Yeah, the reason why I'm playing this is because I want to unlock Super Luigi Galaxy before I go to Greece. Who needs sleep knowing you have video games? Yeah, that is a good point. Unfortunately, my AirPods will be dead in 5 minutes, so I'll be silent. Well, you could still text, but I get what you mean. It's a real shame they didn't put Galaxy 2 in 3D All-Stars. I'm still salty about that. Okay, I think I already got that secret star, so I'm not going to go for that. I need to play Super Mario Maker 2 again. Why do you have the annoying orange gif? I think the better question is, why don't I? I know I've been talking about Galaxy 2 quite a bit, but I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 very recently. I would play it if I didn't have my Switch connected, because my friend and I were hanging out, and we got some footage of games like Cruisin' Blast and Cuphead, which I started replaying. And I already had my stuff set up, and I was just going to do this before I slept, so I did a Galaxy 2 stream this weekend, but the thing with Galaxy 2 is that after playing it, what's interesting is I actually didn't beat the game until just now, because I tried doing something with the save data on the Wii when I was like 13, and I lost most of my save data, so I was more concerned about 100% in Galaxy 1, which I did. I unlocked Super Luigi Galaxy, but with Galaxy 2 I never got around to it. But I just decided, you know what, I'm going to play this game and beat the game and I'm having an absolute blast with it. In fact, I think I might just be liking Galaxy 2 a bit more than Odyssey. And if you don't know, Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario game. It's my favorite game of all time. And I think there are a lot of things that are interesting about Odyssey and Galaxy 2, respectively. I'll definitely get into those, but I'm gonna have to race the boo with the helmet. I don't know what his name is. Who is my favorite Mario enemy? That's a good question. Maybe the Hammer Brothers? The variations of them? I'm playing the 3D All-Stars version. Soshi, good to see ya! Happy late birthday. How'd your birthday go? I watched Coconut Fred. Is it better than the Red Ape family? Okay, Tears of the Kingdom I think is looking better. I think Nintendo just didn't show anything off of the game before that was really impressive. I think the marketing's been kind of weird for it, but, you know, I'm not going to denounce it anymore. I feel like it's not going to be like Splatoon 3. I think it's going to have quite a few new ideas and such. This is a galaxy I remember having a problem with when I was a kid. I never liked those Pulse Star missions, and to be frank with you, I still don't like them. One thing, or I'll get into Galaxy 2 versus Odyssey, but I'm trying to concentrate here. Or wait, was I going for the Secret Star, or... See, the thing is I like motion controls, but I'm not feeling much when it comes to this. Like, if your motion controls are to eat bulb berries and blimp fruit, I'm okay with that. But, it seems kind of forced, doesn't it? Barely made it! Take a look at that. The Spooky Speedster. Interesting name. Yeah, I'll agree with you now. I think that $70 DLC argument, you know, I was wrong about that. And, you know, if I'm wrong about something, I'll be happy to be proven wrong. That was a close shave. Especially if you're Greek. Malaka. I don't watch Helluva Boss. I've never heard of it. Galaxy 2, the game they decided not to add to 3D All-Stars. I have the original physical copy on Wii and 100%ed it. The thing that's awesome about Wii games is, no matter how old they are, they're still probably going to work just like new. I got my copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2 in 2011 and it still works like brand new. I kept the manual and everything. I always took care of my games. Yeah, I'm thinking of selling Splatoon 3. I'm just not feeling it. The motion controls are definitely not Smooth Moves. Smooth Moves was built around it and made it really fun. I think like the Pulse Star stuff is just kind of... eh. I don't hate it or anything, but it's just like... could be better. Galaxy 2 had better motion controls. I think if the Mario Kart DLC still just makes the tracks good, I'd love to see Vanilla Lake, but unfortunately, if it's Bowser Castle, it's whatever. They could make it cool. Jude, what's keeping you engaged? I do watch Ellis Mark sometimes. Nick2751. I'm not a huge fan of Galaxy's controls either, especially after playing Super Mario Odyssey. Although I think Galaxy 2 has better controls, probably because of Yoshi. It just kind of feels faster. But I think that might have to do with the level design just being more compact. Galaxy 1 has a lot slower pace. Which is fine for what it's going for, but... I mean, considering it's a platformer, I do prefer Super Mario Galaxy 2. Sunshine feels amazing to control. I just wish they'd do that for the rest of the game. If you're gonna beat Sunshine, like, one playthrough, it's incredible, but once you get to the blue coins and such... You know, if they had a list for them, I'd be fine with it. Like, if the blue coins were still a bit tricky to find, yet you knew what your progress was, I'd be okay with it. But it's just so sloppily executed. That game needed more time to cook. But with that being said, it is definitely better than Super Mario 3D Land, which is my least favorite 3D Mario. Reese, what is up? Good to see ya. And yes, I saw your message on Discord. I was just hanging out with my friend the whole day. And yes, you are absolutely going to be part of the Super Paper Mario review. Because you are the Paper Mario guy. I've been playing Paper Mario for 12 years. Okay, we gotta get the Torpedo Teds to target this. That's a good question, because for the next 3D Mario game, I feel like it's been so long since Odyssey, they're probably going to go for something new, but in terms of structure of having separate kingdoms or just one big area like Bowser's Fury, I'm not sure about yet. Although I think the gimmick they're going to go for this time is time travel. That's the one thing that Mario hasn't gone for. He's gone for globetrotting. He's gone for... Oh, didn't seem to work. Yeah, I'm not a fan of underwater levels. Oh, come on. Ash, I think... Debating whether or not to continue with this galaxy, because I don't like the water levels and such. I don't think I'm going to be streaming for too long either. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for the question. You know they say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but considering the question you asked, you know, I'm willing to debate that. Will there ever be a trash or treasure for poop? I mean... Or I'll try to think of something. Trash or treasure for poop. Probably not. Although it probably would get a ranking higher than Switch Sports. Reese, I know you saw the episode of Hoarders, and I couldn't stop laughing when I saw your message saying that I've been eating poop for 12 years. I think we're just gonna have to go under the water and deal with it. I hate that you always remind me of the Pinocchio scene. Well, to be honest with you, if you've seen the movie, is there anything else noteworthy about it? Because it's a pretty by-the-books cash grab remake. I think they probably added that in because they knew the movie was bad, and whoever's gonna review it, they could just put that in the thumbnail. There's so much more to it, though. Oh, I already got that star. Yeah, that was a green star, so I think that was the secret one. So I'm gonna have to go back in the water. And get the Torpedo Ted to target this. Alright, come on, Ted. Funny, because my neighbor's name is Ted. If I had my window open, he could probably hear me and be like, "Oh, hey, Demeech, we're going out and keep on froggying." I might just review the Pac-Man cartoon at some point, just because you've talked about it to an extent where I actually watched it. I think it's charming more than funny. Like, it's not very high in meme material, but I enjoyed what I saw. Unless we're talking about the meme with, "Hey Orange, why'd the orange go blind? He was low in vitamin C." When T&D saw that, he's like, "So that's what you find funny?" That also ties to the Pinocchio thing. I can't wait to get into that during a Super Mario Galaxy stream, but it wouldn't be a Demeech stream without references to memes and poop. Or both. Flood's gone evil in this game. I thought Flood was supposed to be nice. He's not nice like Mimi from Super Paper Mario. Dude. Who thought that was a good idea? I'm just thinking of Super Paper Mario And, you know, I've been working on the review for that, but I feel like I probably need to replay it before just finalizing everything. So I'm trying to get that out during the summer, but I think it's going to be hilarious. Just with all the weird stuff that happens in that game. Oh, yay! Polestar pieces! Isn't that great? Galaxy 2 is looking better every day. Did you guys know that Super Mario Galaxy 2 also has the edge of being the basis for the box art for Mario 3 Vokrov's Fiesta? Even though my name's Demeech, I'm not Russian. Because I like to take my time. Alright, let's see. Hey, it's Demeech from the YouTube. What's my favorite Mario Kart game? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know it's a cliche answer, but it's just that good. And I feel like the DLC took a 180. Do you think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have distanced Zelda so far that Zelda actually is? Personally, I'm not a huge Zelda fan in terms of, you know, being completely involved with the series like Mario. I love Breath of the Wild. I think it's my favorite Zelda game. So I think that if you're used to the more linear Zelda games, it could be a change in pace. Think of it kind of like the reverse what happened with 3D Mario, because, well, that was getting more linear, this is getting more open world. Soshi, for that opinion alone, you are the most based orange Yoshi on the planet. I think it's cool that you recognize just how awesome the arcade games were. And I'm glad with the channel and everything, I was able to bring light towards those games, considering that they're not really talked about that much, or they weren't before. But now people are bringing them up more often. I'd love to see them actually get re-released outside of using Nintendo, or heavens forbid Techno Parrot if you're going to play the best one, Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe. Have you ever tried that, Soshi? Because that one is just... It's an absolute nightmare to get set up. It was worth it, don't get me wrong, but Techno Parrot's just annoying to use. I'm trying to cheese this, because we love cheese, but I think it's... Let's see, I thought he had a spike or something, so I was trying to avoid that. Oh, this one just has, like, the rays go after you. Reminds me of the Bowser battles. Screw you! I'm gonna get those star bits to feed to Luma. And good, I hope I don't have to play another Underwater Galaxy. I will say that any of the Yoshi games, except for New Island, or maybe DS, are better than the 2D Mario games. I don't regret it. I think that, you know, at the time I wanted Mario Kart 9, and I'm sure Nintendo could still do good stuff with it. But I think I'm pretty content with the DLC right now. Okay, not Yoshi Topsy Turvy. That's a weird game. The controls just aren't that good. Very gimmicky. One quality of life improvement from Super Mario Galaxy 2 is that the cool thing about it is that with the cursor, you didn't have to use it to save your game or navigate the UI. Poochie was a really interesting choice for a character. Let's see what's in the Ghostly Galaxy. I hope it's not a bunch of fart jokes. The last Yoshi game, Crafted World, was excellent. You know, I might just play a level of that before I end this stream. I mean, if you played Nintendo Switch Sports Mario Strikers Battle League, or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I think you'll understand why I don't exactly clamor for Mario Kart 9. And we got a glimpse of what the worst case scenario could be with how Tor initially launched. was telling you guys that I'll be in Greece later this month, but you want to know how long ago it was? I was playing the Mario Kart Tour beta the last time I was there. And I have fond memories with it, but at the same time, how do you launch a Mario Kart without multiplayer? I just love the general feel of Crafted World. Reese, did we do or the series was called Demeech's Arcade? Did we do the episode together for Crafted World? Because I want to do a full-on review for it. A free update in the fall. By the way, Nintendo Switch Sports stopped getting support. It's not getting new items anymore. Apparently it was really popular in Japan. Bowser must be so arrogant to have statues of him. It's like Greg Heffley. Except Bowser is more likable. And also Bowser is a simp. Oh, I remember these. You versus Boo, except Boo is coming to the rescue. Yeah, Greg's a simp too. He always wanted to go for Holly Hills despite her having no interest in him. And when she expressed interest in Rowley, he just tried to sabotage it. No. So did you reference that because that's why I got suspended from 5th grade? At Super Nintendo World, I'm wondering if they melted down the bronze Barney statue for the Bowser one. Greg Heffley is a scumbag. I'm not afraid to say that. I remember in the book Dog Days, the 4th one where it's summer, that was one of my favorites. He couldn't pay Mr. Jefferson for the smoothies they had at the country club, so what he decided to do was start a lawn care service with Rowley, and he said, hey, you're gonna have to do the dirty work, and you're gonna start mowing the lawn, but I'm gonna sit here and work on our business plan. And thankfully Rowley was not having any of it. Whoa, it's Barney! I could just be Barney! I'm more of a Captain Underpants guy, too. I think that Diary of a Wimpy... Or Captain Underpants actually concluded on a pretty good note. I feel like Diary of a Wimpy Kid's just gonna go on forever. The final Captain Underpants book, I believe, was in 2015. The sensational saga of Sir Stinks-a-Lot. I remember waiting forever for them to have the book after the preposterous plight of the Purple Potty People. It took forever to get some new books by Dave Pilkey, but I found out what was going on years later. And it turns out he was taking care of his dad who was sick at the time and unfortunately passed away. And, you know, family comes before anything. So I understood why, but, you know, at the time I was, like, reading these books when I was in elementary school. So I didn't really use the internet either, except for Webkins. That was... Before I started gaming, that's all I was really doing. Playing some Webkins on my computer. That was my childhood. I used to make my own comics too because of what I saw in Captain Underpants. I'm wondering if I should ever post some of my old comics and drawings to the channel. I think they're still pretty funny. Too much. It's a perfect. Wahoo! I'm just laughing at Reese's question because Reese, you are the Y2K master. You're like the king of bringing back 2000s nostalgia. So let's talk about cool math games, shall we? I'm going to read a little more of the chat. You want to know how addicted I was to Webkins? We'll get into that after I answer Reese's question. But, oh my gosh. That was an obsession. And my sister was onto it too. Okay, so cool math games. Yes, I use that mostly in middle school though, because do you guys think that cool math was just like something made up to seem like a math website, but in reality was just a way for students to play games in school without it being blocked? What does Bloons Tower Defense or that one game where you're using the brick have to do with math? That had nothing to do with the game! Okay, so we'll get into my Webkins story. So I started playing Webkins, and I remember distinctly because I have a good memory when it comes to memorizing useless knowledge. You couldn't get me to memorize the Pythagorean theorem or something like that, but you could get me to memorize stuff from like the 2000s and just stuff I grew up with. So my sister and I got Webkins from my grandparents' friends who gave them to us as a gift. My first Webkin was the Cheeky Monkey. That's what it was called. It was called the Cheeky Monkey. And I started playing Webkins, and I don't know what it was. I didn't have pets at the time, so maybe that was it. But I just straight up got hooked on Webkins. And I amassed a collection of Webkins that was like, I think I had almost like 40 of them by the time it ended. Some of the ones I remember the most are, of course, the Cheeky Monkey, but I also wanted to get the Cookies and Cream Cheeky Dog and the Blueberry Cheeky Dog. I wanted to collect the Cheeky line of Webkins because I remembered that the Cheeky Dog and the Cheeky Cat were the rarest Webkins, going for, I think it was like $500 back then, or some insane amount like that. I think what they used to do is they'd retire Webkins too. Like, they'd retire them just after they came out. I remember they had this snake one, I think it was called the striped snake, and they retired it. They also had a toucan and a gator they retired. But they also, it was more of an experience than an actual game, but essentially what it was is it was a combination of like sort of a social game, but also like taking care of pets and stuff. And one of the things I remember is I used to have a collection of lava lamps, or was trying to get one. I had the blue and the green lava lamp, and I was trying so hard to go in the trading rooms where you could trade items and such to get the elusive purple and red lava lamps. And I never got them, and one who I almost got it from just said, "You're pathetic," after we ended the trade, or talk about it. That was in the Webkins Clubhouse, but I did everything in Webkins. I got the Crown of Wonder quite a few times. I think I got 500 on Wheel of WoW. I was always there for the events and stuff. Like the Super Wheel. And they had other ones too. I need to play the Silly Bands game. Silly Bands was another addiction. I remember that specifically. So with Silly Bands, what happened is there wasn't really a patent or anything like that. So there were the official Silly Bands, but there were also so many off-brands, like Groovy Bands, Zany Bands, and I used to collect them all, and I used to have a collection where I'd always search for the hedgehog ones. And I had like a brown hedgehog, a purple one, I think a blue one, a tie-dye one. It was definitely a fad. It wasn't something that was meant to stick around for a long time. And schools did ban them, I remember that. Mine didn't, but I think they limited the amount that you wore. I remember Pillow Pets, Soshi's question. Soshi's happy, happy napper, and he loves to play Pac-Man. I remember the rings, but I don't think they lived on too long. Just currently charging my phone too. I haven't used it or anything like that. Trying to look into a new phone, but you know, unfortunately, it's just like I don't know if I want to get a new phone because they all get rid of the micro SD card and headphone jacks. I think I had a SpongeBob pillow pet. Yeah, Reese, you can join. Just be warned, I'm gonna go to sleep in about like 20 minutes or so. 2010s is also good. I would say that the early 2010s, like 2010 to 2013, maybe 2012 for sure, that was definitely an extension of the 2000s. 2011 is also when I got Super Mario Galaxy 2 and they released Mario 3 Volcano Chia Pets! I love Pikmin. I think Pikmin 4 is my most anticipated game of the year. Yeah, I remember all the Webkins rumors. They were so stupid. Alright, Reese. I will be calling you. Oh, you already called me. Heyo, what's up, Reese?
Yeah, so, I did, I'm feeling a little nostalgic now that we're talking about, like, some stuff from the 2000s and early 2010s.
You know, cheers to you. We're gonna be drinking out of cereal straws.
Didn't they bring those back recently?
Yeah, but I could never find them in, like, regular places. I had them in, like, Cracker Barrel, in places like that. It was the golden age of mobile gaming.
Yeah, I feel like most mobile games, like, around the early 2010s were, like, I feel like that was kind of, like, the perfect time for them, since they didn't have, like, microtransactions, or the microtransactions were, like, very minimal. It was, like, and I feel like there were definitely a lot of memorable games at the time, because, having mobile games in general was kind of a novelty at the time, so most of the games were kind of creative. I would say that's kind of, like, the mobile games around that time, like Angry Birds, or, Plants vs. Zombies. I know that was originally a PC game, but that's still kind of, like, one of the early mobile games, but, then there's also, like, Cut the Rope, Doodle Jump, things like that. They feel like classics, kind of. They're almost like how the, it's kind of comparable to how, like, the, like, NES games are to, like, Nintendo games in general. That's kind of how, like, those original mobile games kind of, like, feel in terms of, like, mobile gaming and things.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Although you probably didn't play them on a phone, you probably had like an iPod Touch like I did. But the thing with the early mobile games is, yeah, or microtransactions weren't really a thing. But with the casual games and such, those were mostly on the DS at the time. Because remember, back then, smartphones were a bit of a luxury. Not everyone had them. In fact, I would say until like 2014, it was pretty common still to have like a standard flip phone.
Yeah, because I got my first phone, my first smartphone when, like, in 2016.
I got mine in 2015. We'll get to that, but alright, I need to use the restroom. I'm gonna use what Mario and Luigi fixed in the movie. Hey! But I'll be I might not even need to go to the toilet because Soshi's gonna make me piss myself after saying New Jersey smells like bad. Can we go home? I know exactly what you're referring to. You got a talking.
Who's your least favorite Mario character?
Peach.
I'd have to say Kirsty from Paper Mario. Actually, never mind. That's my favorite character.
You got a talking briefcase full of $100 bills? All right, I'll be right back.
Speaking of New Jersey, I did this AI thing one time, like this prompt, where I put in like Magalore visits New Jersey, and it was pretty funny. And they included like a part about like how Magalore couldn't pump his own gas, so he got mad and he left. Starlow's your least favorite Mario character? Well, I mean, like, I can kind of understand that due to how she treats Luigi. AI is weird. Yeah, it was ChatGPT. I put in like a prompt that was like, Magalore visits New Jersey and regrets it. Have you watched Coconut Fred 2? I have. I don't think it's bad or anything. I just think it's kind of weird. And pretty simple to SpongeBob. But the person who introduced me to the Coconut Fred, I don't want to get into it. I'm not really in contact with them anymore. There were some things that happened. But yeah, Coconut Fred, interesting show. Birdo and Peach. I actually like Birdo. Like, I used to think Birdo was kind of weird, but I actually really like Birdo as a character.
Did somebody say Birdo?
Yeah, Jack Attack Gaming, I think, he brought up Birdo as like, oh, you kind of like Birdo. I thought you were saying that Birdo was one of your least favorite. Okay.
No, somebody shipped Birdo and Demeech.
Because I was saying, like, Birdo is actually a pretty good character.
Alright, I kind of like Birdo. Okay, this is a question for you.
And I like that Birdo's been appearing in more games lately.
Me too. Somebody asked, Andre, do you pay your employees? Well, I had some kimchi ramen today, so yes. Well, we kind of got that in the intro of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of half expecting them to not even show the minions, because I thought they were kind of separating the movie from most of the other Illumination movies. I mean, they kind of did. Like, it kind of does feel like a separate project from the other Illumination movies. Like, it doesn't really have the same... Like, in general, I feel like the Mario movie just doesn't really feel that much like an Illumination movie. So I didn't really expect them to go too far with, like, the connections to other Illumination movies.
Well, the thing is, the Mario movie was great. So I guess it's not an Illumination movie, which is peak mediocrity. Although, I love to see Disney get put in check. That's what you get for making lazy remakes. I know what
it's... You know, I feel like Illumination is actually kind of having a redemption arc right now. Like, along with the Mario movie, they're also making that one movie that is coming out later this year kind of looks promising, called Migration, like about the ducks.
I haven't heard about that.
It's like there's like this one trailer they put out where it shows, it's weird, like the first minute of the trailer shows like all of the other movies that they made, and then it cuts to the trailer for that new one. It's really weird how they did that, but from the footage that I've seen of it, it actually looks promising. Like, it doesn't really have the Illumination humor or the style that a lot of their mediocre movies have, so I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like the Mario movie. I think that the better film was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, although I'm not really comparing them, because with movies I can enjoy them just based on their own merits and such, but
yeah,
that is one of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Yeah, with Puss in Boots, I feel like that's the objective, like, objectively that's better, but personally, I feel like I like the Mario movie slightly more just because I'm a Mario fan.
Yeah, and that's totally fine, but the one scene in that movie...
But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is also, like, one of my favorite animated movies now. Like, that was amazing.
Oh, you're saying that you like the Mario movie more? You know who you are, Alexander. You're an irredeemable monster.
Whoa!
One of my favorite...
Took you so long, idiot!
One of my favorite scenes from the movie was, I never had much growing up. Just a mansion, loving parents, stability, and a thriving baked goods enterprise for me to inherit. Useless crap like that.
Yeah, did you see the, I sent it to you, the,
8-bit Jack Horner
and Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown.
Oh, that was for Freakdown? I thought it was just like pixel art.
No, it wasn't, not an actual mod, but, like, I made the sprite and the style of that game.
What a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I actually have a physical copy of it. Like, after the AVGN episode aired, I found it, at, like, a local game store, and I was like, oh, they actually have this here, so I ended up buying it.
I think I got it with the manual, but I got it because of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I am curious to know your opinion, Reese. Which do you prefer, Galaxy 1 or 2? Because I'm completely on Galaxy 2. But I know most don't feel that way.
I I actually haven't played Galaxy 2 in quite a while. Like, because I actually don't own the game. The last time I played it was like with I played like a lot of the game, but I actually haven't. It's only one of the only Mario games that I haven't finished because I don't own it. But
You didn't finish
I
it.
did play a decent amount of it. Like at a friend's house, but I have played through like Galaxy fully and everything, and I 100% of the first game. So I can't really say yet, because I need to play more of Galaxy 2.
You didn't unfinish the game, you just didn't complete it. I don't know if it's nostalgia. I think more people are playing Galaxy 1 because it's included with 3D All Stars.
But yeah, but it's kind of funny. Like, I've played through the original Galaxy like a lot of times, like because I played the original version when I was a kid, and then played through the 3D All Stars version. But I never really got around to playing through Galaxy 2 in full. Like I said, I have played some of it, but like just not all of Galaxy 2.
Yeah, what happened with Galaxy 2 is I got that game before Galaxy 1, but I wanted to finish Galaxy 1 before 2, so I ended up 100%ing that game. But I just got around to beating 2 for the first time. And I will say, I want to 100% the game before doing a full review of it, but I like everything about it more. The levels are more compact, the pace is a lot faster. I will say that Galaxy 1 has a better story and atmosphere and such, but nobody goes to a game for atmosphere, they go for food. Food, water, atmosphere.
But with Galaxy 1, I kind of like the structure of the game, like with it kind of being like kind of similar to 64 and Sunshine and how you progress.
I think that if you like 3D Mario, but can't choose between linear and open world, I think the Galaxy is a perfect compromise, either of them.
Yeah.
I feel like I prefer sandbox 3D Mario when the games are incredible. Like Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite in the series. But I will say that Sunshine and 64 are very rough, but at the same time they released very long ago.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, and with Super Mario 64, I feel like now that there's actually like well, there's always really been a strong community behind that game, but I feel like there's been a lot of ways that game has been improved. So I feel like Mario 64 kind of has like nowadays there's actually like a lot better ways of playing it. Like, for example, I mean, this isn't like the original Mario 64, but I recently started playing through 64 DS again on the Wii U Virtual Console, just like for nostalgia and everything, because I kind of wanted to revisit that game. And since I modded my Wii U, I actually added analog controls.
Oh, you can actually do that?
Yeah, that's actually like one of the there's like a patch on Homebrew that you can download that adds analog controls, and it definitely improves the game a lot. Like Mario 64 DS with analog controls is definitely the definitive version of Mario 64.
I think that Champion's Road is just unbelievably difficult. I haven't gotten to the perfect run yet, but I will say with Super Mario 64 DS, the controls are always brought up, but I thought they were serviceable enough.
Yeah, there's something about like 64 DS and New Super Mario Bros. that is just like really nostalgic to me. Like, because those were like my first two mainline Mario games.
Getting a bit tired, but I'm gonna answer the question. So, yeah, New Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario 64 DS were my first mainline games too. I did play the Virtual Console Mario games though. But in terms of like mainline, what was recent at the time, those were my first two. But even without the nostalgia goggles, I think that those games still hold up so well.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It took me like an hour to beat. Alright, we brought up Champions Road, we brought up the perfect run. What did you guys think of the darker side of the moon? I thought it was challenging, but nowhere near as challenging as Champions Road. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't as challenging as Champions Road, but I do feel like it was a good challenge for with like kind of showing off like the different like abilities in Odyssey. I feel like it kind of was kind of a good challenge in that area.
Felt like a good finale. I'll give it that. Yeah, it's not brutally difficult, but it is a good challenge.
Yeah.
I think the hate that Odyssey gets nowadays is just kind of insane. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what...
it's like... Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't even know, like, why it gets so much hate, and it's mostly on Twitter, too.
Well, Twitter doesn't count, but I'm just talking about, like... I saw that it's no masterpiece video, but... I think the fun of Odyssey isn't just the missions, it's the satisfaction of collecting a lot of moons. Like, you can say, yeah, you ground pound to get some of them, but at the same time, it's really satisfying. It's like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, and it's like, people compare it to, like Mario 64 and Sunshine. While it is comparable to those games, I feel like the structure of, and like the, like how you get the moons and everything, I feel like in that area it's more comparable to Banjo-Kazooie.
And I'm fine with that. I'm glad they did something different with it.
Yeah, and I really like the Banjo-Kazooie structure, so kind of mixing it with like the 64 and Sunshine formula, I feel like it definitely worked out really well.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just a shame Nintendo hasn't done much with it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that sometime soon we'll get like a sequel to Odyssey.
Or even if they went the DLC route. I know it's been a long time, but, you know, at this point, what is going on?
Yeah, well, the only reason why I don't think they'll do DLC, even though they did do it for 8 Deluxe, is because, like, the games they do DLC with, like, much later aren't really, well, they're, like, usually online games, like Animal Crossing. I mean, even though Animal Crossing is kind of heavily focused on the single player, it does have the heavy multiplayer element as well, and then, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's kind of obviously, like, has a lot of focus with multiplayer. So, in Odyssey, is mostly, like, a single-player game. So I feel like Nintendo really wouldn't have, much reason to do DLC at this point, because usually with DLC for older games, they kind of tie in with the expansion pack.
I think for Mario Kart, it makes sense regardless of when it releases. Because you can keep adding tracks. The first wave was not good, but everything else has been pretty solid.
Yeah. And about that, what I think happened there was that I feel like the first wave was rushed, and then after that they've actually had like a decent amount of time to work on it.
Yeah, I think so too. And also a lot of the stuff's integrated with Tour. So I'm hoping we get Athens Dash and Mario Kart. I was talking about this on the stream, I don't know if you were here for it, but did I tell you I'm going back to Greece next month and I'm thinking of doing some videos there?
I think you told me that you were going back soon, but you didn't tell me when specifically.
Well, I wasn't exactly sure, but I'm thinking it'd be fun to do Wii Sports Resort and Super Mario Sunshine. But if you guys can think of any summer games, I'd love to hear them.
But yeah, that's great. That's because you haven't been there for a while, right?
Since 2019. So I've been yearning to go back. And I'm looking forward to it.
This summer, I'm also gonna travel somewhere since I'm going to Toronto.
Are you gonna go to Microplay? Yeet.
Alright. Just got
Invalid.
You're Tricky Nick or Demeech.
Who's my friend? Andre from Game Explain. What is your
Yeah.
favorite? What is your favorite Pixar movie, Reese?
I'd have to say Wall-E.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I've always loved that movie. Like, it's just really good overall. Like, I feel like it's definitely like a very like memorable movie. Like even and I feel like it's like even like amazing compared to like all of the other Pixar movies. Like, and Pixar is mostly known, like at least in like the 90s and 2000s, for having like a lot of excellent movies. But I feel like Wall-E is definitely like the best one in my opinion.
I feel they've been doing too many sequels recently. That's just a problem with the industry in general. Like, nobody has
Yeah.
original ideas anymore. Hence why they're making. Yeah, hence why they're making so many live action. Dang it.
And yeah, and reboots as well, like for TV shows. There's like a ton of reboots happening.
I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Pinocchio huffing poop. Do 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 do.
Did you see like all of the stuff coming out for like the live action Little Mermaid movie? Like, it looks horrible. Like, I know that's like all of the live action movies, but it's just like, it just seems like it's AI generated at this point. Like, how are actual humans making this?
'Cause they're lazy. What if Demeech died? I'd be dead. But how can you die when you're dead?
Pixar in the 2010s was pretty much their sequel phase.
Sequels
The
and
only,
prequels.
sequels that actually worked for Pixar are the Toy Story sequels.
I didn't like 4, but everything else, yeah, I agree with.
Yeah, before 4, because 4 was unnecessary, but 3 was excellent. 2 was also excellent.
Alright, I'm just gonna have to wait for the bonsai bill.
Actually, I do think Monsters University was fine. I didn't think, like, that was probably one of the only other Pixar sequels that actually worked.
Yeah, I think Monsters University was alright. Finding Dory kind of felt unnecessary. It was kind of entertaining, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't really that necessary. The Cars sequels, well, I mean, 3 wasn't bad, but it was kind of just eh. And then 2 was like their worst movie.
What,
Though
Cars 2?
I did really like the original Cars though, because I kind of have a soft spot for that movie since it's the first movie that I saw in theaters.
I heard the original was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked the original. Like, I was basically obsessed with it when I was like a toddler.
Shawnee Boy got a Lightning McQueen TV and unboxed it for a video. The hero no one asked for.
Like I said, it was actually the first movie that I saw in theaters. So, I'm definitely pretty nostalgic for it.
Alright, I'm trying to get the coins here so I can restore my health.
And also, fun fact, did you know that Cars is actually like the last Pixar movie to get a VHS release?
I did not know that. Like, was that 2006?
Yeah. And the VHS copy of that is actually really rare. Like, I think it's worth like a few $1,000s on eBay.
I can't even remember the last time I used a VHS, although I did remember I had the SpongeBob movie on VHS.
I actually had that on VHS too. And I also have Shrek 2 on VHS.
Yeah, DVDs completely obliterated it, and now we're at streaming and such. But I don't think you can replace physical media. You can replace it with another medium. Like, it's one thing to go from cartridges to, like, a different medium, like discs, but you can't flat out replace, media like that.
Yeah, streaming services in general are just exhausting. Like, there's so many of them now. Like, ever since, like, 2019, there's just been, like, a ton of them popping up. And it's just too much at this point. Like, I missed it back when it was just Netflix and Hulu. Like, it just kind of sucks, like, having all of these streaming services and all of these shows and movies kind of tossed around in between them. And then some episodes get deleted, and different things.
Yeah, they did that with SpongeBob.
Also, unrelated, but why is Bowser Jr. so big in Mario Galaxy?
I don't know. I don't know.
It always kind of bugged me that, like, he was just, like, so big. It just kind of looked off, like, for some reason. It's just, like...
Here's the Mega Mushroom, that's why.
Because, I mean, like, comparing Bowser Jr. To Peach in Sunshine, like, he was smaller than Peach.
On the
And now,
contrary...
like, he's, like, twice as big.
Have you noticed how huge Bowser is in most games? Like Super Mario Odyssey, even. It's
Yeah.
weird how they handle that. Just like Honey Queen in Mario Kart 7.
Yeah, I feel like Bowser just kind of, like shifts size, like, a lot of times in different games.
Well, it makes sense for, like, the final battles and such.
And also, can you guess which game, Giant Bowser first appeared in? Like, Bowser as, like, in his giant form, basically.
Yoshi's Island?
That's Baby Bowser, just, like, kind of normal Bowser.
Paper Mario.
You're actually correct.
I knew what it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's the first appearance, like, according to the Mario Wiki, that's the first time that Bowser, like, increases in size during the final boss, not counting Yoshi's Island.
Did you know that Jeff Grubb said Thousand Year Door is gonna get remastered? Oh,
Well, that means it's gonna happen then.
You know, with that Nintendo Direct, I didn't think anything of it except for Metroid Prime Remastered being real because Jeff Grubb was right. So the minute after the Direct, I just posted, he was right! How does Bowser not throw up doing that? I thought Bowser was gonna get big in the movie too.
I really hope Wario and Waluigi appear in the sequel.
I do too. There's a lot they can do. I mean, we already know one character that's coming. But I won't spoil anything just in case you haven't seen the movie. Anyone in the chat?
Yeah. I actually spotted a couple, of course, Paper Mario references in the movie. They're kind of hard to catch, but there's actually, like, a couple songs that were remixed. They're kind of obscure, but, like, I noticed a couple, like, instances where they actually kind of referenced, because there's actually 150 songs that were referenced in the Mario movie in total.
I did not know that. I recognized a lot of them, but... Is it the first Paper Mario? Because Thousand Year Door, I beat that game. I beat Super Paper Mario, but not the first one.
I think it was actually a reference to Origami King, surprisingly. It was, like, one of the boss themes from that game. Because it was kind of like the way they kind of had it, and I think, I'm not gonna say, like, which scene, obviously, but, it's kind of like, it was kind of like a orchestrated version of it, kind of. Yeah. And then there's also, like, a couple other references that I noticed to Paper Mario. I'm not gonna say which scene this was in, but there was one of the, Koopas had, like, the armbands and the shades, like the, original 3 Paper Mario games. Like, do you know how the enemy Koopas have like shades and spiked armbands?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, there was like one of the Koopas in one of the scenes. I'm not gonna say which scene it is because it's technically, I mean, it's kind of a half spoiler, but there's one of the Koopas that appears like that.
I need to rewatch it. I know you saw it twice.
Surprisingly, South Korea kept releasing VHS until 2010, making Wall-E their last Pixar VHS release. Wow, I did not know that.
South Korea is pretty interesting.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's really interesting.
That was easy. I think Mario, or final boss fights in Mario, started to get epic with New Super Mario Bros. Wii. What if Nintendo Defenders existed in the shovelware era? Well, I'm sure they have. Oh wait, he's back? Oh, no he's not. It's gonna be a widescreen port. Well, GameCube games have aged pretty well.
Oh wow, they really did release Wall-E on VHS. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, did they actually do that? And yeah, that's really interesting. Also, Madagascar 2. I remember watching that movie a lot as a kid. Especially like on the portable DVD player I had on trips. For some reason I really liked to watch Madagascar 2 a lot.
I did too, and I also had a portable DVD player.
If Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door does get a remaster, will it be a remake or just a widescreen port? I feel like it will just be like Metroid Prime, because I feel like Intelligent Systems is probably putting most of their resources into the next Paper Mario game, so I feel like it's probably just going to be something along the lines of Metroid Prime Remastered if it ends up happening. Like, updated textures, kind of like the HD texture pack for Dolphin for Thousand Year Door. It's probably going to be like that. And maybe with like fast travel.
We're gonna have to ask Jeff Grubb about that. Oh, is he gonna come back? Oh, well, what's going on?
Hold on, I'm getting a call from someone. Oh wait, it's Jeff Grubb. Hold on, let me answer this real quick. Uh-huh.
Oh!
Okay, Kirsty returning as a partner? And she's replacing Goombella? Okay. Oh, all of the NPCs will be replaced with Toads? Okay.
He was right!
The Thousand Year Door is now called the Thousand Paper Door. Okay, the battle system, you now shut a door on enemies instead of using a traditional turn-based RPG system. And yeah, Bowser's the final boss again. Okay. So yeah, we are getting the Thousand Year Door remastered. It's supposed to come out in May.
It's out right now.
Tomorrow.
Maybe we should play Celeste to celebrate. Alright, well I think we're gonna wrap things up after this. It's been like an hour. It's quite the ending, yeah. Galaxy 2's ending isn't as memorable, but I still prefer that game. No, I don't have an evil twin named Demeech. Switch Sports is the best game ever made. My favorite YouTuber is Harmon Smith.
What's your favorite website?
Twitter! Wonderful. Alright, we are closer to unlocking Super Luigi Galaxy, which I'm very happy about.
You can now play, it's just like all of those memes, like you can now play as Luigi.
For my graduation, I actually wore a Luigi hat. You can now play as Luigi in the next chapter. I haven't gotten to the green stars yet, but I'm excited to check them out. This game still looks gorgeous, even if it's just upscaled. Goes to show an art direction goes a long way.
Yeah, and I feel like the same kind of goes for Sunshine as well.
Petey is fast asleep.
Hey everybody, it's Petey Peterson. Oh man, I just woke up for this stream.
Alright, we are at the Star Festival now. Who's my favorite YouTuber, Switchforce? I'm Zack Attack Laming.
You know, there's this one thing that I've been tempted to buy recently, that I've been thinking about for a couple of years now. And that's like the GameCube demo discs, because some of them include like early builds in like betas of certain games. And then there's like actually a few for sale that have like the 1,000-Year Door beta on it.
I'd be interested to check that out.
Yeah, and you know, I think the discs are about, like, most of them are around like $80 to $100. Like, it sounds expensive, but it's actually not too bad considering the fact that they're kind of rare and they're like not really standard like games and everything. And they're more of like an interesting thing to collect, and I think they've always been around that price range. So yeah, I've been kind of interested in getting like at least one of those, because I kind of wanted to make a video about it. Can't get enough of Paper Mario. Yeah.
I have the Double Dash disc, and it has like a few demos and such. It's cool for the novelty, but I wouldn't pay too much for them.
Is this like the was that like the actual like demo that like actually would like come with the game, or was it like one of the kiosk demos? Because I was actually referring to the kiosk demos.
No, it's the one that came with the game. But
oh, yeah, I was actually referring to the kiosk demos, because the kiosk demos come with like a bunch of different like demos for games, including like some early builds and different things.
oh, the kiosk thing's a little bit different, because if that was like unreleased, that's a good price.
Yeah, a lot of them are around like 100, which actually isn't too bad for like what that is.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. But anyways, thanks for joining the stream, guys. We had Andre from Game Explain, and the one guy that Twitter loves. And as always, 100% factually in